Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about orchid vendors who I buy from and which orchids I buy specifically from those vendors. The first website is Seed and Gay. It is the place where I buy the majority of my Neofinetia. The reason I mainly buy from this website is because they are a Japanese run company that has a physical place in California, so it's gonna arrive in San Francisco a lot faster. I've met the vendor in person a few times, so I know who they are. They're very nice people. Um, and they just have such a great variety of Neofinetia to choose from. So if you go to their site and you go to the filter, set it to low to high, you're going to be able to find plants that are in the cheaper range or lower price range. They usually have a Sideria japonica. Um, they have classics like Shutenu, Kibana, all the good classics. Eventually, you can get to the really expensive range if you switch it to high to low. They could go in the thousands. These are for niche Neofinetia collectors. I don't anticipate the general hobbyist to look for those kind of plants, but if you are, this is a perfect place to go look for those plants. Since they also sell pots, I do get most of my Neofinetia pots from here. You can get the general plastic ones, which I recommend growing neos in, or the not plastic ones, but those I don't recommend growing Neofinetia in because they are mostly for competitions or shows or exhibits, and those are glazed clay pots. If you need the terracotta, you're better off going on Etsy. I know a guy on Facebook that sells them, but I won't bring that website up here. Um, Now, the other website where I do get or I have gotten my Neos from is New World Orchids. She specializes in miniature orchids, as you can see here. So you go here, Japanese collection. She has Asian cymbidiums, the Sideria japonica, Dendrobium monoliforme, and Neofinetia. I bought my Tamakongo from her. I believe that was actually my first Neofinetia. It was a huge plant. I was very surprised. It has grown probably the best in my collection, but that might just be the plant itself. It just grows naturally, easily. It blooms a lot. It doesn't need a lot of light or care, rather. And her shipping, I think it was like $15. I did have some experience where it required some back and forth emailing with her, and I didn't get a response for quite some time. So that wasn't the most positive, but she still sells plants that I might buy in the future. So I'm not going to write this website off or vendor off. So another option for you. The next website is J&L Orchids. My impression of this company is that they ship things really well. If you buy a tiny plant, they'll pack it in quite a large box. Maybe that's the only box size they have. It comes really quickly. There's nothing wrong with the plant. I think I've bought maybe one or two plants from them, but because of the shipping costs, I try to avoid buying here if I can help it. The only reason I'll buy from this website is if they have a plant that I can't find anywhere else. I will say I did buy my Decumana from them. It was kind of small. I mean, it is a very small plant, but I guess if you bought it in person for $35, it would be worth it. But after the shipping, it adds up, you know. But I'm glad that the one plant that I bought 2 years ago, which is now living in my mom's house, is doing really well. The leaves came really light green like this as well. I don't like that. I grow it in much lower light. It's dark green now and it has four buds. So just a little FYI, they might come with lighter leaves. They grow them in tree fern fiber. I switched it out to moss and bark and it's been okay. It's doing great actually at my mom's. So this is a plant that I actually bought from them. A plant that I have been eyeballing is my glandulosa, who I didn't purchase from JNL 2 years ago, and then I eventually killed it when I didn't really know what I was doing. $45, that's I mean, I work hard for my salary, but I'm not spending $45 plus maybe $19 for shipping for a tiny plant that probably will die. I do look on places like Orchid Board to see if people have had experiences growing specific types of orchids, if it is notoriously a difficult specific species or hybrid, I will avoid them if it costs a lot of money. And I generally have a policy that if I kill a plant, I don't buy the same one ever again. There's so many orchids out there for me to, grow unless I really love it. And granted, I really like this plant because it smells like cloves. It was the first time I realized that orchids could have a fragrance. Um, I may come back for it if I hit the lottery, but not right now. So that's JNL Orchids. Right now they have 23 in stock. They have Vechiana, they have Ignea, they have Strobelii. Like they have a lot of unique Masdevallia that some of you might be interested in. So just a little glance here. The next one is probably my least. I don't go to this website to buy very often, and the fact and truth is, I think they have a mealybug infestation. I bought two files from them a while back. Just came with muleys. I did not even deal with them. Like I just threw them in the trash. I do not screw around with pests in my home. And if a vendor sends me a plant with pests, it's not trouble that I signed up for. Knowing that, after a while, I kind of established a really rigorous pest treatment and plant quarantine program. So any plant that enters my home has to get washed, sprayed, inspected, new substrate, potted up, and isolated for at least 30 days. I don't screw around with that. It's just not worth it because, I have like $1,000 worth of orchids in my home. And just, like, why gamble? And I will order from this website because they do carry a lot of unique hybrids. They don't have much right now, but they will eventually upload more over the course of the year. So I always come and kind of drop by and see what do they have. This one was really interesting for me. I really wanted it. I looked it up and it says the petals or sepals have kind of a crystalline sparkly look to it, and then eventually I talked myself out of it because something to know about Hausermanns is that when they sell Masdevallia, they sell exactly what they say here. It's like three, four leaves. I'm not sure if that's what it means, but every time I've purchased from them, the plants that come are very they're not mature. They're definitely like a division. It takes about a year or two for it to actually establish and bloom. My Morning Glory that I bought from this website took about a year and a half to bloom. My Golden Monarch, the yellow one that I really love, I don't remember how long it took, but it did come with like three, four leaves. So unless you're ready to wait, you have other places to purchase your Masdevallia from that are more established. So that's this place. I still recommend it if you're looking for Masdevallia and don't want to import from Equihanera or buy from their Equihanera's USA site. So that leads us to our last website, which is Equihanera. I'm not going to say Equigenera because I'm pretty sure that's not how they say it in Spanish. Or at least I think they speak Spanish in Ecuador. I'm pretty sure. Yep. So I don't buy from Equihanera's USA website from the nursery or the place where they grow them or keep them in Florida. I buy mostly Masdevallia. They're cool growing, and I just feel like there will be more problems for me buying plants that stay there. Historically, I have purchased from their main website, which is ecohanera.com. Either you can go to Orchid and click on Masdevallia for the species, or you can go to Orchid Hybrids, scroll down Masdevallia for their hybrids. I actually have three Masdevallia that I've placed. And the great thing is, if you have orchid shows in your city, you can place these by a certain time, select that event for the shipping, and then they won't charge you shipping, and you'll just pay the price listed here. When I don't do that, I've never actually done the pickup. It's my first time doing it that way. Historically, I will just place the order and then I will select the expert. Well, first you'll just select the regular shipping, and then afterwards they'll send you an invoice and they'll tell you things like, "Hey, like we suggest that you buy a heat pack. You can expedite it if you want to, and then if you respond that you want to, they'll send you a PayPal or whatever to pay the extra money, and then they'll expedite the shipping to you." So basically, what that means is Equinera ships to the US several times a month, and when it gets to the US, it's from there that speed is the speed that you're paying for. So let's say they travel to the US, they sit there, and then you select ground. It could take another 7 to 8 days to get to you, and it's already stressed out from the import process. So I don't I spend the money to ensure that the plant that I really want actually gets to me in good condition. I've never had a Masdevallia arrive where it looked poor. So I've ordered two plants from Equinera via shipment so far. I ordered my Viciana. It came in pristine condition, to be honest. Maybe one of the flower spikes was done for because you can't expect blooms to stay in Masdevallia in shipment. And then I bought my coccinia recently. It came in pristine condition as well. The roots were fine. I just had to soak it again. So this is where I get the rest of my orchids. Haven't had any issues so far, but I still do the same treatment. I wash, treat, quarantine. So yeah, this is the end of my video. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you guys next time.